Hey guys, so I am so excited for this video. One of you decided to ask in the comments if I could do a shop with me video, which was super exciting. So here it is. This is for you. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the health struggles that I've had, just to give you context about why I buy certain things and why I don't buy other things. For example, I don't eat gluten or eggs, and I eat very minimal dairy. So I'm going to show you in this video a little bit about that story, and then I'm also going to go through my fridge and my pantry to show you what I do before I go grocery shopping, as well as taking you into the depths of Sam's Club where we are going to go grocery shopping together. If you want to see a video about what I actually bought in a grocery haul, I will link that down below. But stay tuned and watch the rest of this video. Let me know what you think. Alright fam, so this is a slightly different angle on everything I usually do. So if you didn't know, I actually have a pretty decently severe gluten allergy. It's not celiac technically, but it does wipe me out and knock me on my back pretty hard when I have it, even if it's on accident. So the other day I went to Target to grab a couple of things to get ready for Easter, because I love Easter and I still want to celebrate even with COVID-19. And so I went and I got a couple of things, including Easter candy, and I didn't know that Robin's eggs have gluten in them. The little like crunchy part in the middle actually has like wheat in it, and so I had one and my body did not react well at all, and as soon as it was in my mouth I realized something was wrong and something was off, and so I checked the ingredients, but I had already eaten it at that point, and basically I have had a fever for the past like couple of days. I don't feel good at all, but tomorrow is Sunday, Easter Sunday, and so a lot of stores are going to be closed, but it's also going to be snowing Sunday and Monday, so I don't quite have enough in my pantry to like make enough for the next few days. I kind of do, but it would be very like carb heavy, and that typically makes me feel pretty sluggish anyway. So all that to say, I am gonna try to get myself up to go to the grocery store. I don't feel super great, so it's probably gonna be a quicker trip than I usually like to take them, but I did want to do a come grocery shopping with me video, and I don't want to postpone that because I know it's going to be a whole nother week before I go grocery shopping. So let me walk through my process. First of all, I always go through what I have in my fridge first, so I guess we'll do that first. Okay, so coming on in here, this is the messiest version of my fridge, so I apologize for that. I bought eggs for Daniel if he comes over tomorrow for Easter. In my dairy drawer, I have some cheddar cheese from Trader Joe's that I bought last week, as well as little butter for baking in the back, some dairy-free almond cheese from Trader Joe's, tofu, which will be helpful this week, and some Parmesan cheese still. On the top shelf, I've got a little bit of quinoa. I have an avocado left. It's gotten really soft, so I stuck it in there, and lemon curd, which I love to have on toast. Coming down here, I have some hummus behind the Greek yogurt. I still have some Greek yogurt, which has been kind of making me feel sick. I think it's too much dairy that I've been having. Of course, with the cheese, that hasn't been helping me out. But that's that. That's the rest of my coffee from this morning. I did make pancakes in the morning, so that's the other half of that. I will have it for breakfast tomorrow, so I don't have to make anything. And then down here, I just have some prepped food. In this pot, I have the rest of the black bean quinoa chili that I made. I have this, this is just cut up celery that I can have with hummus, and some potatoes that I had put and roasted in the oven. And then in this bottom one here, I've got a couple of slices of baked, it's a sweet potato rounds, and that's just good on salad or as a side to any dish or meal. The leftover falafel that I have made, so that's enough for like 2 or 3 meals. Sometimes I'll eat them as a snack too, since I'm low on snacks. And then leftover pasta from lunch earlier this week that I have kept. I may toss that in the freezer because I have not been eating that. I actually didn't end up eating any of the apples that I bought, but there's apples in general there, half an onion. That is about it in the refrigerator. In the freezer, also kind of bare. I have portioned out cornbread and that chili in these 3 containers as backups. So I guess technically if I wanted to eat that all of the next 3 days, I could, but I think that'll make me burnt out. I have some spinach here and blueberries, some shelled edamame, and then some frozen veggies all up here, including broccoli, corn, peas, and this is just a veggie medley that's good for stir fry. I have some gluten-free bread here. I also just took these out of the freezer a little while ago. These are my gluten-free paleo bagels from Keep Up with Liv. And over here I have another apple, the last little mandarin, which I should eat today because it's going to go bad soon. And then a bunch of bananas, so hopefully I can make some banana bread or like morning cookies or something. And then in the pantry, I have used up some things finally, but I still am pretty good on a lot of grains. I have quinoa, a lot of rice back up there, and some seeds, which will be great on cereal. I also have some cereal, which is in a different area, and baking things as well. As you can see, I don't have a ton of produce, which is typically what I use a lot of when I'm cooking and making my meals, but yeah, right now the fridge is pretty bare, and I just like to have things on hand just in case, because you never know if something happens, or like let's say I end up feeling sicker the next couple of days. I'm gonna be glad that I went grocery shopping now. So just knowing my patterns. As a side note, this is a little bit of a side rant, but I've actually been feeling kind of sick anyway with like different breakfasts that I've been having. I've made like a chia seed pudding, which has been great in the morning with some of those frozen blueberries that I'll pop in the microwave before I have with my chia seed pudding. It's like jam, which is super yummy, and a little bit of granola. But yeah, I used to have smoothies basically every morning, and that's really when I felt the best. So I've been looking at different blenders, but that's so tough. Like buying a blender, my family growing up used a Vitamix, and those are super expensive and probably out of my budget. So I am trying to figure out what is a good alternative. I had a small Ninja that was like a food processor blender mix that worked okay in college. I've also used other blenders at different like friends' houses, and nothing is quite the same as a Vitamix, especially since I usually make my own like flours and things, and right now it's just cheaper for me to buy those things because the actual Vitamix is so expensive. So if you have a good blender recommendation, definitely let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm not sure if I'm gonna include this all into the video for the grocery shopping thing because this is kind of long. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna actually just end this video here and explain like a little bit more of some of my dietary things that I've been dealing with the past few years of my life, to share my story. And I hopefully will do a better video of this at some point. This is kind of off the cuff, but for the past like 10 years or so, like I really struggled with like my health in a lot of different ways. And you know, like I would like exercise and not lose weight, and so that was hard because, you know, friends and family sometimes would like kind of be condescending about it or be mean about it or make fun of me for it, and those things are fine now. We've like talked about it and cleared it up, but it was definitely hard on a girl's self-esteem. And so you know, I couldn't figure out why things weren't working, and I've also kind of always been in like digestive pain, and like food is something I love, but I've had a hard time with it. Like I love food, I love cooking, but a lot of times food would make me feel sick. And so I finally got super sick, and like just was not able to eat things, and not because like I didn't want to, but because it just caused so much pain and bloating in my body, and I would get migraines and pass out and things like that. So it was pretty serious. We went to dozens and dozens of doctors, and this gets me kind of emotional sometimes, but it felt like nobody could help me, and nobody could give me the answers that I was looking for. And so that was really hard, because I've always been a person where like I love to have a plan, and I love to know what's next or how to fix things, especially fixing things. and I felt like I was broken and like I couldn't fix myself. And you know, I would go into doctors' offices and they'd be like, well, are you exercising regularly? Are you eating X, Y, and Z regularly? Like, talk to me about what you're doing. And they're like, everything you're doing is right. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. You know, and so they're like, we don't know what's wrong with you. We're so sorry. And I took tests and blood tests and colonoscopies and like scans, and kept different logs, and tried natural routes, tried traditional Western medicine, and it was just really frustrating. And so finally they discovered that I had a gluten intolerance, and that I was allergic to eggs, and a whole list of other things. It's like a 24-page document that has it all in there now. And so I abide by most of that. Some of those things were as serious, some weren't. But it is definitely a very restrictive thing. And so to find things that are gluten-free and egg-free and preferably dairy-free, sometimes that's really difficult for me. But yeah, and typically eating like meat itself also makes me feel a little bit sick, and it could be the type of protein or source from that, but grass-fed or some of those higher grades of meats are out of my budget, unfortunately. And so I typically eat pretty close to vegan, because that takes care of the eggs, and if I do gluten-free vegan, I'm safe for the most part. And then it just comes down to actual like ingredients, like things like pineapple and melons I'm also allergic to, so I definitely have to watch those. Luckily I'm not allergic to nuts, which is a huge thing that I'm grateful for, so I am able to get some protein from like almond butter or almond milk, and incorporate different seeds and nuts into my diet, but it does make it pretty tricky. And so for those of you guys who are struggling to figure out how to bake and cook and feed yourself in a way that is, you know, reasonable with your budget, but also you know, not too much work, and egg-free, gluten-free, mostly vegan, this is a channel for you. And I hope that you can feel encouraged and not alone in this, because you know, it's hard to find other people who get it and who understand what it's like. And I'm not one to try to like glorify it, and the reason I'm sharing this story is because sometimes it is lonely, and sometimes, you know, I can look for hours to try to find a recipe on pancakes or something like that, something simple to just feel normal for a little while, and to find good products that don't make me feel sick is a huge one. So this is for you guys. I hope that this is a blessing to somebody out there, you know, and if anything, to give some perspective on what other people's journeys are like, because it's all different for each of us, and that's not bad or wrong. It's okay. And sometimes there's an answer, and sometimes, honestly, healing is not on the side of heaven, and we just have to learn how to manage it and keep pressing on to try to find answers, but know that in the meantime, we can keep our chin up and move forward. So anyway, welcome to my channel, and if you are a fellow gluten-free, egg-free person, welcome all the more. All right, so we just pulled up here. We are at the parking lot at Sam's Club. I've actually been trying to get here for like a couple of weeks. So I looked at my grocery list and I was like, there's enough veg. And also, like I might have mentioned in this video, it might be a different video, I'm looking for a blender. So I just want to like price check. And if there's something here, I've been reading reviews for the past couple of months, honestly, trying to figure out what kind of blender. So if they have a good deal on one of the ones that I've had my eye on, I may get it, but we'll see. Yeah, mostly I'm going to try to stick to just veggies here, and maybe some sort of like fiber supplement as well. And I might take a peek at the protein powders, but whatever's on sale, whatever's cheap, probably bell peppers, because I've been going through those pretty quick. And if I do like a veggie scramble in the morning, that's really great for my stomach. So especially if I don't get a blender yet, because like I said, breakfast has been tough, but we're gonna go in there and try not to spend more than like $50. And then whatever else we need, we will either go to Safeway, Sprouts, Whole Foods, or Trader Joe's. And they're all also open later than Sam's is, so better get in there. So we're at produce. They just rearranged everything in here, so I don't actually know where anything is. This will be interesting. I've also been looking for good frying pans, so I'm very tempted for $25. That's not a bad deal. think I'm gonna pass though. What I have is fine. So there is a lot of fruit here. I have, like I said, my stomach's been upset, so probably not gonna do too much citrus. That's gonna hurt. So this is me just walking through the produce and the freezer slash refrigerator section of the store. I usually compare, it's $4 or less for that big bin of lettuce. So I get the mixed greens, half and half. I'll switch off between that and the spinach. Here I'm just looking at different things. They have coleslaw and other mixes, but typically they do have gluten or other things that I'm allergic to, so I avoid those. I've been wanting mushrooms because I've wanted roasted mushrooms, and they were less than $3 for this big thing of them, so that was a great deal. Yeah, see, they're $2.88. And yeah, I just kind of walk around and see, like, okay, I know I wanted some roasted veggies. Originally I wanted cauliflower, but the carrots were about the same price for what would last way longer, so I decided to go for those. Yeah, $3, and it was like I think I have most of what I'm going to get from here, but I'm currently in the frozen food section to see if we have any kind of gluten-free vegan things that will be easier for me. I'm good on fruit, which is usually what I get out here. This looks like all of it's meat in this aisle, so we're going to go to the next one. That I think I'm going to hit under 20 or 30 with all these veggies, so that's good news. So I'm currently editing this video that you're watching right now, and I realized that I kind of wanted to do a shopping with me and kind of how I grocery shop and combine that with some of my health story. So this is me signing off, and if you're interested to see my grocery haul, I can link that down below. And if you like these videos, if you're also egg-free, gluten-free, mostly dairy-free, follow me on here. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know if this is helpful for you guys. I also just did a 5-product review of things that I enjoy snacking and baking with. I'm thinking of doing more of those because I know I'm always jumping on YouTube to figure out if people actually like the things that I've been thinking about buying in the stores or not. So yeah, again, I hope that is helpful. I will link that video for grocery haul down below, and yes, thanks for watching.